Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your great support always. I'm so grateful for your continued support to this channel. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. As I speak, the speech of Ndindi Nyoro, the Member of Parliament of Kiharu constituency, Murang'a County, is now sending a panic mode to William Ruto's status, as he is now leaking saying that budget is not the one we read. This is the hard truth. The budget of Kenya is called exchequer.
Budget is not the one we read. This is the hard truth. The budget of Kenya is called exchequer. The budget is not the one we read. The one we read remains there. When you have a country where there is a discrepancy between what you budget for and how much you can raise as revenue. So what you budget for is not the budget. What you fund is the budget. When you are in a household budget and you have what you want to achieve, you want to build a house in Githurai, you want to build your rural home, you want to buy a car. That is what is the budget. Then after that, those are aspirations. What can you fund out of your revenue? That is the real budget. So the things that I was seeing some semantics about absorption. That word called absorption, you need to actually juxtapose it from absorption to not funded. Those nice words about absorption and absorption, it basically means more than 95% that those programs were actually not funded by the close of the financial year.
Now, when Ndindi Nyoro is coming out to say such kind of statement, I have a simple question. What Ndindi Nyoro is saying is likely to be truth. Because, number one, when you can clearly see how our financial bill is being handled, is surrounded with a lot of lies and, of course, scandals. Because now, if budget is a plan and outlining government's expected revenues, then the exchequer is a branch of consolidated fund of the government. Basically, of course, an account through which public funds are managed and distributed is something that is giving me a lot of worries. If the truth to be said, the way Ndindi Nyoro is now saying, then it means even the debate of the financial bill is just total rubbish and nonsense. Why? Because the finance bill, there is someone behind the scene that usually controls the money. This money should go to that place. This money should go to this place. This money should go to this place. In other words, what is my point? My point is, members of parliament wasting a lot of time discussing finance bill is just total rubbish and useless. Why? There's someone behind the scene who is controlling everything. Hii pesa itolewe, hii inaenda pale, inaenda pale, inaenda pale. In other words, William Ruto has been left with bigger percentage of decision how money should be used across the board. And so living beyond, of course, is like Ndindi Nyoro, sorry, is now saying that we are living beyond our means. And that is why you can see the finance bill trying to project how the government is going to use our taxes. And maybe whatever they are borrowing outside the country or even locally is not what literally reflects, because if Ndindi Nyoro can say that this finance bill inakuwa tu just for just a matter of reading, but it is not a matter of implementing what has been read. So it means that the finance bill that we've been having is not what is being implemented behind the scene. Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, as you always do, ensure you like the video. When you like the video, you automatically support the work that I'm doing in this channel, because sometimes you watch and you forget liking the video. So this is just a reminder. As you watch, please consider liking the video. Thank you so much for that like. Ati, the budget of Kenya is not what they read. So the budget of Kenya is called the exchequer. Okay, I'm not so conversant with the public finance. I've learned something today. That all this you're seeing is just simply a portrait of kind of sham and of course scam that you public munafichwa na mujui. And that is why we have a president who will move from one county to the other, promising roads, promising markets, promising schools, promising supply of electricity. Are we having a body that deals with this? We have treasury. This treasury, remember, it's usually implement what the members of parliament wameweka muhuri wakasema kwamba this is what we suggest. If 30% of the finance bill is going to executive, and this 30% must be divided in this executive. If about 10%, or even let me say 3% is going to some ministries, or some one of the ministries, you know, if it is health, if it is, let me say 6%, then this 6%, au watu wajigawe kwa hii ministries yenye tuko nayo over 20 something, you know. So whatever is happening now today is that we are having a government that even when you look at how our ministries wanapewa pesa, ni William Ruto ndiye anaamua. Si kwamba the budget that has been passed in the National Assembly and read in National Assembly is the one that is being implemented. So are you getting that? So what is being read, na zile unaonanga tuna reject, is not what William Ruto is implementing. What William Ruto is implementing is what is in his mind. And you can get that clearly. So when Ndindi Nyoro was the chair of the budget committee in the National Assembly, did he raise this issue? Because we must ask this. If truly this was to be raised, then was William Ruto willing to implement? Which for me, I know William Ruto is a man who usually advises himself. He's the one who used money the way he wanted. So you cannot tell him anything. Even when you look at this budget that is being passed in the National Assembly, ni ile tu ya kumfunika tu, but kuna jambo na mambo mengi zinafanywa chini ya maji, and they usually don't want you to know. And that is what Ndindi Nyoro is saying, that the budget is not what we usually read. The budget is the exchequer. And the way his explanation is that this budget is usually total nonsense. Total nonsense. Are you getting me? Total nonsense. So hizi zingine wanafanya chini ya maji huko. And that is why utasikia Ruto amesema amepromise 20 million. Amepromise 200 million. Amesema 1 billion. These things that William Ruto is saying is not in the budget. Are you getting that now? What William Ruto is announcing outside there is not what is in the budget. So the budget is just papers. But what is being implemented is not what has been written in those papers. It's what William Ruto thinks is right. Are you getting me? What do you think? Drop your opinion at the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you so much because of your great support. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing this video. Bye bye till we meet in another video.